So let me start on the first issue. Our convergence on global cyber commons and cybersecurity has never been closer, and our discussions never so candid. 3 weeks ago at the second annual Strategic and Commercial Dialogue here in Delhi, I was honored to sign a framework for the US-India cyber relationship alongside India's cybersecurity coordinator, Dr. Gulshan Rai. Never before has the United States signed such a document with a foreign partner. The framework outlines priority areas for US-India cyber cooperation, including strengthening critical internet infrastructure and undertaking skill development and capacity building programs. The framework also reiterates the basic values our two nations share with regard to the internet, including the multi-stakeholder model of internet governance and respecting fundamental internet freedoms. We look forward to working with India to fulfill the tenets of the framework at the end of this month, when senior Indian and US officials meet here in New Delhi for the Cyber and Information Communications Technology Dialogues. That's at the end of this month. A critical component of the cyber commons is how we manage and counter cyber threats, such as terrorist use of the internet. In an interconnected world, it only takes the push of a button for terrorist groups like ISIL to reach a global audience. That's why the Department of Justice and Federal Bureau of Investigation hosted a workshop in Delhi last week on how we can improve cooperation against terrorist groups seeking to use the internet to recruit and radicalize individuals. By sharing expertise and best practices, we can better deal with the challenges associated with terrorist use of the internet while respecting our respective criminal justice and constitutional systems. Now let me turn to the other critical component of our cooperation: increasing internet accessibility and bridging the digital divide. You know, William Gibson, the celebrated science fiction writer, famously said, quote, "The future is already here. It's not just very evenly distributed." I think that aptly describes some of the challenges we're seeing with access to digital technologies and the internet. By historical measures, internet penetration has proceeded at a rapid pace. I think it was radio that took 38 years to reach 50 million users, while the web took only 4 years to reach the same level. But the fact remains that 3 out of 5 people in the world are still without internet access. This is unacceptable because in today's digital economy, to be unconnected is to fall behind. That's why the United States launched the Global Connect Initiative, GCI, last year. To put it simply, we view internet connectivity as essential infrastructure, the same as roads, bridges, and ports. At the inaugural GCI meeting in April, Secretary of State John Kerry and leaders from all over the world announced $20 billion in investments to help bridge the digital divide and bring an additional 1.5 million people online by 2020. The United States appreciated the support of IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad, who stated that the GCI's goals mirror those of Prime Minister Modi's Digital India initiative. Since the launch of Global Connect, the US has announced more than $1 billion in worldwide financing through our development agency partners such as USAID. And in India, the US Overseas Private Investment Corporation, or OPIC, is providing $141 million in financing for a low-cost, rapidly scalable wireless broadband network, which will help bring affordable internet to unconnected villages. I commend our colleagues in the Indian government at OPIC and the IEEE for their support of this incredible project.